and Paula. I don't know. I don't feel like doing it anymore because I feel like that was enough. Right? And the thing is late already, so I feel a little bit, like we should just stop here and just go and eat because I think they've already given us enough food for thought. And we should just go and eat the other food now for ourselves. But they've asked me to continue, so okay, I'll continue. Okay, the hymn I want to talk about is number 425. 425. I think this hymn might not be such a popular hymn. Does anyone know this hymn?
Yes.
Holy, holy is what the angels sing. Before I decided to do this one, I had to contact Seth because this is one of Seth's favorites. He said he has many favorites, so I thought that he was going to do this one today. So I said, Seth, are you doing this song? He said, no, I'm doing another favorite. So then I said, okay, I'll do this one. Holy, holy is what the angels sing. If you can just look at the first verse, if you can just read it together. Okay, 1, 2.
There is singing up in heaven, such as we have never known, where the angels sing the praises of the Lamb upon the throne. Their sweet hearts are ever tuneful, and their voices always clear. Oh, that we might be more like them, while we serve the Master here.
And then the chorus.
Holy,
You want to read the chorus as well? Okay, let's go.
holy, holy is what the angels sing, and I expect to help them make the courts of heaven ring. But when I sing redemption story, they will fold their wings, for angels never felt the joys of our salvation.
Okay, so Michelle knows the song. Michelle sing. Okay, the first time I heard this song, it was actually in a sermon. A pastor was preaching. The pastor was preaching and he used the chorus, Holy, holy is what the angels sing in his sermon. And it was like one of those, one of these preachers, that he's an exciting preacher, he gets excited and the way he uses his voice and all that. So it really had a big impact on me. He was saying something like this. He was saying holy, holy is what the angels sing. When he said sing, it was like that. And then he said, and I expect to help them make the courts of heaven ring. And when he said that, it was like, everybody was kind of excited. So the third line, when he said, but when I sing redemption story, I was ready for the third one, they will fold their wings. But he didn't do that. The third one, he said, when I sing redemption story, and he stopped. And I was like waiting for it. Come on, bring it. And then he said it again, when I sing redemption story, and he stopped again and was like, come on, bring it. Right? Then he said, when I sing redemption story, they will fold their wings. He said it slowly. For angels never felt the joys that our salvation brings. That's the first time I heard this. And after this, it really had an impact on me. And after that, I went and I searched for the song. I didn't know how to sing it, but I searched for the song and I read it. And the reason why this song impacted me is because of the message in that chorus. It says, when we sing redemption story, the angels cannot partake in that. Why? Because they have not had the experience of being saved by redemption. They don't have redemption story. So that's why he said the angels will fold their wings. And listen. Some background information about this song. This song was written by, if you can look, you'll see the author, the person who wrote the song is called Johnson Altman Jr. He wrote, even this one is maybe not so well known here. He wrote some other songs that you do know. For example, 625, Higher Ground, you know that one? He wrote that one as well. Lord, lift me up. Can you sing that together, that chorus? Lord, lift me up, and I shall stand by faith on heaven's stable land, the higher plains that I have found. Lord, lift And he also wrote another song that we know called Deeper Yet. You know that one? 302. 302. You can turn there. I think you know it. You can sing the chorus together. 302? 302. Yeah? Let's sing it together, those tonight. Go. Deeper yet, into the crimson flood. Deeper yet, under the precious blood. Okay, so we know those. It's the same person. That's why I just said that, to say it's the same person who wrote this one. Holy, holy is what the angels sing. It's one of my favorite songs, and I wish that we could sing it here more often. Johnson Oatman Jr. I heard about Fanny J. Crosby. She wrote about 9,000 hymns. He wrote only about 5,000. And he was asked about money. Seth also talked about money. He was asked about money for his hymns. And he said, this is not about money. He said, I don't need money. So he just wrote the hymns. And he said, okay, just give me $1. So he was given $1 for some of the hymns that he wrote. That's all he wanted. Because it wasn't about money, not only for him, but for all of these people who wrote these hymns. It wasn't about money. This was about praise. And if we look at verse 3 in Holy, 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 can we read it together? Then the angels stand and listen. 425. 425. In 425. Let's read verse 3 together. Then the angels stand and listen, for they cannot join that song, like the sound of many waters, where that happy blood washes from. For they sing about great trials, battles fought and victories won, and they praise their great Redeemer, who has led to them the Lamb. So the first line of that one, it says, the angels stop and listen because they can't join the song. It reminds me of another song by a great gospel singer called Mahalia Jackson. Have you heard of her? Mahalia Jackson. She wrote a song that said, tell me, Lord. She said she asked God, tell me, Lord, how did we make it over? How did we get over? And she was likening this journey that we are on to climbing a mountain. So she says, Lord, I've been falling and I've been rising. I've been falling and rising, climbing over the mountain, trying to get to the other side. And she said, Lord, tell me, how did we make it over? Has anyone ever climbed Mount Fuji? Nobody here? 1, 2, 3. Did you slip and fall?
Huh?
Rochelle said yes. Did you fall?
No.
Oh, that's good. You didn't fall. Okay, so only Rochelle. But yeah, sometimes when you're climbing a mountain, you do slip. Did you slip? Okay. Some people are perfect. Yeah. Everybody isn't. So in this life, sometimes you slip and you fall, right? But God says to us, it is when you are weakest is when I carried you. So when she said, God, tell me how we got over the mountain, God will say there, I carried you when you couldn't do it for yourself. You remember that song, One Set of Footprints in the Sand?
Yes.
Remember that one? When the person looked back and said, God, you promised to be with me, but I can only see my own footprints. It looks like my own footprints. There's only one set of footprints. But God said, I was carrying you because you were weak. So God is going to say to us, I carried you. When we slip and we fall, He helps us. And these are the stories that we have. These stories where we slip and we fall, where we sin. We're climbing the mountain, we slip and we fall, we sin. But we get up and we go again. These are the stories that we will be talking about when we sing Redemption Story, where the angels cannot join that song. It reminds me of another song. This is my story, this is my song. Remember that one? Can we sing that one together? This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior
all that day long. This is my story, this is my song, praising my Savior all the day long.
So these are the stories that we will tell in closing. When we sing redemption story, the angels will stop and listen. They will fold their wings because they have not experienced what we have experienced, so they can only listen. And I want to close again with the chorus of that song. And I want you to help me. I want you to experience what I experienced with the preacher. I will read, and you will only come in at the end on the sing and the ring and the wing and the ring. Please help me, okay? 425. Holy, holy is what the angels
Sing.
And I expect to help them make the courts of heaven
Ring.
But when I sing redemption story, they will fold their wings. For angels never felt the joy that our salvation
Brings.
Amen.
Amen.
As the Indonesian choir